So what we're going to do now is primary impression using a stock tray, check it fits the patient's mouth. So friendly patient will pop his head back, just try this in and make sure we've got an appropriate fit. It's only been a rough fit, which is why I use an impression compound. So the tray goes in, what we've got to do now is modify this to make sure it fits. So we're going to put impression compound in here and go back to the patient. Now is stock tray, preheated compound. In this respect, we've got 4 sticks of ChemCat preheated. As I say, I can't emphasize enough, you have to wrap this stuff in gauze, otherwise it's going to make a complete mess of the water basket. So you take the compound out, back in the water, beautifully pliable. You put the compound in the tray, and then you head back to the patient and get the initial first seating. So we're going to go back to the patient there. So dip this back in the water for a few seconds, grab your mirror and go to your patient. Compound's roughly shaped up. Because it's warm, it'll just flow. Retract the cheek, slide the tray in the mouth, and just insert and push up. Just tell the patient it's going to be slightly warm. Finger in the middle of the palate, finger and thumb under the nose, and squeeze. And then you manipulate the cheeks. And importantly, get the patient to excurse the chin left to right. So if you push your chin left to right, then that'll actually squeeze the compound in the right place. Then after a couple of seconds, you take it out and you look and see what you've recorded. So we've taken this out in the mouth and we're going to be short around the sulcus. That's normal. That's not unusual at all. So basically we're going to use green stick now to increase the sulcal depth. So we've got preheated green stick. We're going to apply some green stick on this and go back to the patient. So now we've got preheated green stick in here. This is up to 125 degrees. It's not actually 125. So what we're going to do now is I want to increase the extension of here. So we're going to actually place green stick. And this just flows so nicely. I'm just going to record one side that was missing on the compound. So add some green stick, put the bung back on, back in the heater. This needs tempering. This is going to be too warm. So you put it back in the water bath. And that'll take it down to the same temperature that the compound was. Then you go back to your patient, try it in. So now tell the patient it's going to be a bit warm top left, slide it in, seat the tray back where it was, finger in the palate, and then you just pull the cheek round, squeeze thumb and forefinger, ask the patient to move their chin left to right, and that'll get the sulcal width in the buccal sulcus, buccal to the tuberosity. In for a couple of seconds, and then you just take it out and the green stick will have formed the missing sulcus. So we've got full sulcal depth all the way along here now. All we're going to do now is the same process on the other side. So we've done one side, now we want to get full sulcal depth on this side. So same thing again, get some pre-melted green stick, inject onto the edge of the tray, then go back to the patient's mouth with it. So preheated syringe here. So same thing, take the nozzle off the end and literally just inject the green stick. And this is so much better than using a naked flame. And if you've got an establishment where naked flames are banned, this is not a problem. It's also not as hot as if you'd used a naked flame. So there we go. Now again, it's going to be too warm. Back in a water bath, just the side you're using. Back down to the right temperature, temper it, then take it back to the patient. So green stick injected, back to the patient. Tell them it's going to be warm where it's going to be warm. And slide in, same again, manipulate the cheek, squeeze under the nose. Patient moves his chin left to right. A couple of seconds to cool down. Then you take it out. And you've got the full sulcal depth on the other side. All you've got to do now is apply adhesive, take an alginate impression.